Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy coming to you live with another Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. I'm here with my tea. Let me sip it. I'm doing it a little bit earlier than tea time. So if you're having your lunch, like I'm going to right after, because I have a couple of appointments in the afternoon, and I wanted to get this out because the topic today is really, really timely because almost all of my clients and I are talking about it in one way or another. And of course, we're talking about it from a lens of marketing and business development, as opposed to the HR. And the title of this week's topic is The Great Resignation. And I'm sure you're aware. If you're not, I'll be the bad news bearer for you that there's an enormous number of employees who are resigning their positions in corporate and in all walks of life. And the reason for that is because more than a year and a half of enforced shutdowns, stay-at-homes, working from home, and all that wonderful stuff. So what's fascinating is I've got a research from resumebuilder.com. And I've also looked at what are some of the things that we could do around this and what are some of the opportunities, because just like anything in life, when there's a problem, there's opportunities. So first, let's look at some statistics around the Great Resignation. So 40% of the Great Resignations are expected from employees from the industry of IT. So that's really unfortunate if you're working in IT, but it's really fortunate if you're working in IT staffing, like one of my clients is. The second highest is 24% of resignations are coming from financial firms. And these numbers are people who have already quit or who have stated that they're going to quit by 2022. Other industries that are less severe but are still pointed as the highest are 18% from healthcare, and God, who can blame them? They've been through it. And then 16% from food and hospitality. And so many of my clients are telling me that in every sector that they're talking to, all their customers and even themselves, they're having historically low turnouts for regular jobs that they would normally have tons and tons of resumes to sift through. So yeah. Now, on top of all of these industries that have said that they're leaving and have left already, on top of that, there's 22% who are still working in all industries who claim that they're completely undecided about continuing to work together, and they're just going to wait and see how it goes, because this whole back to work mandate, the vaccinations, everything is just telling them to stay home. Now, what is the number one reason you think people are leaving? It's actually money. Believe it or not, 50% are leaving. Of those who are leaving, 50% are leaving for better pay and benefits. It's unbelievable. And 44%, so close to 50, but 44% are starting their own businesses. Now, what's really probably the most interesting thing out of this whole research is that that number jumps to 70% if they're from the IT industry, if they're in a technical industry. Maybe that has to do with the fact that it's so easy to do that when you're in that kind of industry because you're already working remotely. Maybe it has to do with the enormous increase in demand for anything technical during and after COVID for every line of business. So, and then 43% are leaving because they refuse to work in an office. So they're looking for jobs that allow them the flexibility to stay home. Now, whether that's because of lifestyle or because they've gotten used to it, or because their families have gotten used to it, or because they're afraid of catching something, it's quite a bit. It's 43%. Now, when I read about this whole topic, and there's more than one, commentator writing about it, there's tons of content about it. But when they asked the president of SHRM, which is the Society of Human Resource Management, he called it, people are getting something called COVID clarity. And that's when they're recognizing that there's a mismatch between what they want and what they have. And he talks about that, and he attributes it to something called the lack of company culture alignment. And that's when I used to go to interviews and the company would say to me, oh, we believe really strongly in work-life balance. And then they would make you feel like you murdered your mother if you left earlier than 7 o'clock, PM. So because it was such a culture of non-balance, and that's their lip service, optics on paper, but it wasn't what was being implemented. And so I think if that's happening to a lot of people, and I believe it is, then that's one of the things that are happening. That's what the COVID clarity is being attributed to by the president of SHRM. Now, I wrote down some of the opportunities that I see for small businesses that are my clients. And so one is really, you can become an outside resource in the interim in whatever field that you are in, for the people who are resigning, especially if they're in those 4 industries that I named, which were the IT, the healthcare, what else did I say? I said banks, financials, and food and hospitality. So whatever you can do in the interim, you can be the solution for the person that's leaving. So you could literally be the interim replacement, or you can stagger and create 6 month to a year programs that'll allow them to get back on their feet while you can help them in the meantime. So the second is to offer, as your content in your marketing, to offer relief and advice for their problems that are caused by the people leaving from your lens of expertise. So like my client, if you're in staffing, talk about it from your lens. If like another client, you're in HR management, coaching, leadership coaching, talk about it from your lens. If you're in supply chain, talk about it from that lens and how you think you have ideas to help, just to educate as part of your content, to get them engaged and hooked into this really, really hot, painful topic. Another opportunity is you can create a program or a product around the pain in that industry that you target to leverage this timing. Because as I said, everybody is thinking and talking about the Great Resignation. And if you have something of value to add to that and to say, to contribute to the conversation, people are going to be listening. And I don't know what the window is for the timeline of how long this is going to take and how long it'll be a relevant topic, but this is the moment to strike now. Another way to treat this as an opportunity is, if it's appropriate, create offers and programs for the employees that are leaving. And I'm not talking about the placement programs or anything like that, but I'm talking about what are they looking for? What are employees who are leaving looking for? Are they looking for other jobs? Are they looking for the people who are looking to build their own business? Are they looking for just more balance? Are they looking for help at home so that they can go out and get the dream job? Whatever it is, try to find out the pulse. First of all, do the focused niching, go after a certain segment of target of industries, and then find those people who are leaving, who are thinking of leaving, and then talk to a couple of them and find out what do they have in common as a problem that you can help with whatever it is that you do. So don't just create programs and solutions for the corporations, but think about, there's a whole market of people who are resigning, and what is it that they need that you can create something around. And then, of course, talk to your employees so that they don't leave. And when I say talk, you can have informal, formal, you can have programs, you can have analytics, you can, they're even suggesting tracking internal Slack chats and internal chatbots, whatever it is, to be able to track some of the dissatisfaction. That's a little bit too stocky for me, but get a handle on it. If you don't get a handle on it, the people who are on the bubble, the 22%, may also end up leaving. So those are some of the recommendations and some of the data around the Great Resignation. let me know what you guys think if you're experiencing it. It could be an upside for you if you're on the side of supply. It could be on the upside for you either way, because this could be just a great opportunity for you to get the right people on the bus. So that's all for my Tuesday tea time for Chala with Chala. And I can't wait to see you next week, see what else is coming down the pipe and what new news I have for you then. Take care.